company and depository participants. The notice of the 51st AGM and the annual report for the financial year 23-24 are also available on the company's website, www.uniabex.com, and on the website of BSE Limited as well. With the permission of the members, I take the notice of the AGM as read. Further, the auditor's report on financials and the secretarial audit report for the year ended 31st March 2024 does not carry any qualifications. Hence, with the request of the members, I take the same as read. We are also pleased to announce that the Board of Directors has recommended the highest dividend in the history of the company of 250%. That is rupees 25 per equity share, of rupees 10 each of the company. All eligible shareholders holding shares as on the book closure date, as per the records of the depositories and registrar and transfer agents, shall be paid dividend, which shall be subject to TDS as per the rates prescribed under the Finance Act 2020. Dear shareholders, I am pleased to present the 51st annual report for the financial year 23-24. With over 5 decades of expertise, Abex is committed to expanding our global footprint in the metallurgical sector. We continue to serve niche markets by utilizing exotic alloys and superior technologies, striving to become a worldwide industry frontrunner. By seizing global opportunities and expanding our geographical reach, we are solidifying our position as one of the leading manufacturers of centrifugal castings in heat, wear, and corrosion-resistant alloys. The global economic movement for the financial year 2023-24 shows steady growth in the iron and steel sector, petrochemical, and fertilizer industries. This trend positively influences the demand for our products, as these industries require durable and efficient materials for their operations. In our 51st year, I am thrilled to announce that Abex has achieved a record financial performance with a revenue of almost 18 crores, EBITDA of almost 54 crores, and PBT of 4.8 crores. 48 crores, sorry, 48 crores. And at 35, and the PAT at 35.5 crores roughly. This success reflects our management's commitment to talent development, continuous ITMS system upgrades, and the adoption of informed business practices. Our investment in market research has provided valuable insights, guiding our expansion into new geographies and enhancing our strategic direction. Our investment in engineering and research and development, in brackets it's called ERD, has resulted in the development of new alloys for critical applications in various emerging business segments. These alloys have been well received by the industry due to our substantial investment in personnel, materials, and equipment. We have established strategic partnerships with leading research institutes to enhance our material science expertise. Modernizing our production facility has improved productivity and increased overall capacity. This allows us to manufacture complex parts at competitive prices, thereby supporting local manufacturing in India as part of the Make in India campaign. At Abex, quality is the core of our operations. We provide superior products and services, as evidenced by the numerous accolades and accreditations we have received from customers globally. We are proud to announce that we have been awarded the prestigious 2-star Export House certification by the Director General of Foreign Trade this financial year. Our organization is deeply committed to corporate social responsibility initiatives aimed at enhancing community welfare and healthcare services. A significant portion of our CSR effort is allocated to skill development programs for children in government schools. We strive to create lasting societal value through vocational training initiatives led by the Manikji Shirinbai Netarola Foundation, which aims to improve job opportunities for underprivileged. Additionally, our healthcare initiatives in partnership with local NGOs extend our services to nearby villages, ensuring widespread impacts. I'm delighted to announce a record dividend payout of 250%. That's 25 rupees per share, underscoring our commitment to rewarding our loyal shareholders. As I conclude this message, I extend my gratitude to all our stakeholders. Just a second, I'm just trying to see who are not attending today's Q&A. Aditya Khandelwal is there? He's not there. Is this Kiran? Piyush Khandelwal. Right. I'll start my comments by saying normally when a company does well, I was expecting fewer questions, but it ended up with 8 people asking over 100 questions. A lot of them are repetitive, some significantly, significant ones, and some which bordered on, allowing total freedom to our competitors to know what our strategies are. So we're trying to avoid those sort of questions. So I will start by saying, in no special order, but I will just go ahead and there was a question about merger and reorganization of Abex with the Netarola Group. Now, Netarola Group consists of many companies which are diversified and have nothing to do with foundry, and some do. For those that do, we are giving it a serious thought, but it will take some time to really see whether it makes sense, doesn't make sense. So we are giving it a serious thought. Moving on. Open orders on hand, just to give you a feel, is about 51.3 crores, comprising of customers from the various segments that we deal with. PSU, somebody asked, PSU's contribution to our top line revenue, it's around 40 to 45%. The markets that we focus on are currently focusing on is Middle East, EU, and North America. 30 crores, yes, is the capex for the year, and the timeline for that would be approximately 1 year from now, and expected to generate a revenue of about 250 crores when fully implemented. Strategy related, there was somebody who had asked FY24 sales volumes and what what is the outlook for FY25 and 26 as we are optimistic a year back? Okay, so the FY24 sales volume is 179 crores or 1,247 metric tons. In FY25, we budgeted a sales volume of 186 crores. And in FY26, we are expecting to exceed 200 crores. Someone's asked us to elaborate more on how sustainable the demand is from the oil and gas sector, including petrochemicals and refining. I will let, there are a few questions which I've left to my president, director also to respond to, which I will ask him to do after I finish my observations and comments. So this is one of them, which is the petrochemical industry is expected to account for a significant portion. So oil and gas sector, he will talk about that. That's item 13 actually. Is the majority of demand from replacement or new capex? Currently, most of our business in the petrochemical business has been for replacement businesses, but we have now started making inroads into projects. So that's a very good start for us. Projects, as you know, gives us much larger volumes of tubes. Then we have are we confident of doubling our turnover in the next 5 years, which was target mentioned in the previous AGM? I guess the answer to that would have to be yes, we are confident. What would be the revised target taking into account new expansion? The new expansion plan mainly focuses on enhancing capacity of reformer tubes for the petrochemical segment. And we've told you that's about 30 crores. We anticipate the investment will generate around 200-250 crores in subsequent years. As mentioned earlier, we are targeting Middle East, Japan, and US markets, and UAE as well. So, yeah, Middle East, Japan, and US markets is our current focus. And we've asked how do we intend to reach these markets? Well, participating in trade fairs, meeting with various people. For instance, in Japan, we've recently received business in the decanter segment from them. So it's moving slow, but it's moving positively. And it will take a little time, but we'll get there. How much capacity are we adding? Around 1,300 metric tons of finished casting supply.
1,300 tons.
New products, let me put it this way. We have 3 distinct technologies, right? These 3 distinct technologies apply to various different applications. And so it's difficult to answer this question with any meaningful result. I would say that the products, the technologies will remain the same. The applications may change. And we're trying to get into more applications inside those sectors, which is the petrochemical and the fertilizer industries. How much land would be available in Dharwad Land Bank post completion of the proposed new capex? Well, I think it will end up somewhere around between 20 to 25 acres between them.
क्या 20-25 एकड़ क्या बोल रहे हैं नया
Who is the industry leader who is the largest competitor, an industry leader in our sphere is a German company, Schmidt and Clemens. They were once our partners, incidentally, and they have a turnover of 356 million as of 2023 euros. China, we don't come across them in Europe much, or in the UK, or in the US. But they are starting to make inroads, I think, at least quoting in India. That can be a bit of a problem. But I doubt whether the Indian market is going to react very positively, for that. What would be the foundry casting capacity in China? Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you India has an annual production capacity of 12 million metric tons of our specific type of business. Yeah, there's this cloudiness on being clubbed as a foundry. Yes, we can be defined as a foundry, but actually we are critical component manufacturers. So we don't really qualify as a foundry in the true sense. So when you say 4,400 foundries, actually we are one of two in India and one of 6 in the world. So just to clarify that, the foundry word is somewhat confusing. China +1 rising manufacturing. Okay. I again state that yes, there are opportunities that do come, and every single opportunity that does come our way, we actually push to find out more about it and see if we can, enter those opportunities. Again, some questions on the marketing, on how much can the potential market size increase for industry? Say from current X, can it be 2x, 4x, 5x? All I can say is we have our own growth path. It's quite ambitious, and we're quite optimistic. That's the way I'd like to leave that. Yeah, this topic of ICD has been brought up, where people have mentioned that why are we not going towards mutual funds and fixed deposits, etc., etc. We have been giving ICDs, and we're also in mutual funds. We have a portfolio of products which are financial department. They take a call. There's a committee, and then based on whatever due diligence they've done, they go ahead and decide. So there's no specific thing that it should be ICD or it should be mutual fund, only the top thing should be mutual funds and something else should be ICD. It's as per the requirement, because we have different needs at different times, and those needs have different timelines. So for all those reasons, we're quite happy with the ICDs. I recollect there was one earlier which had gone down in terms of profitability, Trans-Warranty, if I remember. And then we immediately looked for someone else. But even with Trans-Warranty, we've never had a day's problem with them. So there's no security risk, if that's what the question was all about. Any thumb rule for exit? Limit. Okay, that's same thing. we have not come across products with a capability matrix for green hydrogen and ammonia industries yet. Yeah, there was a question about are we going to be entering the green hydrogen and green ammonia industries? We haven't yet explored that. I doubt there would be any requirement there. Had it been so, our competitors would be in that business as well, which they're not. Approximately 20 to 25% of our revenues come from exports. Why did we degrow in financial year 24? I think that was a time when, if I recollect, there was a worldwide recession, and in particular, the decanter industry had a terrible time for whatever reason, and in Europe, and that's where our exports dipped. How do we market our products? I've already said, apart from doing a market research, we use trade shows, customer visits, and e-marketing tools quite effectively. And even some of our trade shows are showing some positive results. Who are the main competitors abroad for us, global competition? It's people like Metal Tech or DRI, Schmidt and Clemens, Kubota, Manwa, but Manwa is now taken over by Paraloy. Manwa is a French company, also at one time a partner of ours. And now Paraloy has taken them over. Paraloy is from UK. Then there's some talk about the lifespan of some of our tubes. If it's for the petro, it can vary between. It's supposed to last 10 years at least, but ours have gone beyond that as well. So it can be anywhere between 10 and 15 for the petro side, and then for the decanter and the other static, etc., maybe 3 to 5 years or something like that. I don't know. Never done an exercise on that, but we never had a complaint and never had anyone saying that your castings have failed in our history. So I guess we're doing well. What is the library of molds that we carry? We have about between 200 to 300 molds of different sizes, different lengths, different materials. Because we cater to a wide range of products, and the mold life is around 3 to 5 years, because it depends on the usage of those molds. Bulk of the centrifugal casting manufacturers are based out of US, EU, and China. What is the reason, and does it open opportunities for us to tap into these markets? It's not going to be easy for us to get into those markets. Having said that, in some of our products, like the VCC, vertical centrifugal castings, I think we've made some progress, if I'm not mistaken, in some of these countries, especially in the EU. So there's a lot of decanters, a lot of them are from Europe, where we export to. So there's potential for us to also get into petrochemical. We're doing that. We're working towards that. We have to first create a credibility in our country, which I think we've successfully done. And now it's time to start looking at other opportunities outside. Then there was something about business support services, which was, well, the business support services, as you know, is all legal, HR, IT. We have, in the Netherwala group, we have a corporate body which looks after all this. It didn't make sense to have a separate body for Abex. the cost would be prohibitive. So we now share that across the Netravala group, and that brings the cost down for Abex. The other thing that you need to know is that this was earlier done through NCCS, Netravala Consulting and Corporate Services. Now, since it is merged with CFA, the two companies are merged. That's why you're seeing it under the heading of CFA, which is Chemical and Ferroalloys Private Limited. Who's your Indian competitor? If you can call them a competitor, it's Nitin Castings, but they don't do much in the petrochemical side of the business, at least in centrifugal castings. They used to be, but no more. Why are customers looking at us over other players? Good question. It's got to be the quality to begin with. Our quality is second to none. We believe it's even better than some of the foreigners, but we have to prove it. And that can only happen over time. And the credibility that we've already established over 50 years, I think that's a big plus. Fact that we are constantly upgrading our technologies, whichever way we can, has also helped. The reason why our EBITDA has also improved is it's also because of our emphasis on cost cutting, ensuring low inventories, all of the things that allow you to manage your operations efficiently. So a big emphasis has been placed by our team on that, and that has got us some good results. So why are exports concentrated mainly in Europe? What are we going to do to diversify? I've already covered that. We are going to be looking at other. But traditionally, yes, it's in Europe, but it's changing. As far as machine components are concerned, asking what it was 5 to 7 years back. I think the share of machine components is around 45 to 50% of with our growth in other segments. The machine components share has been reduced. Major raw materials would be things like nickel, chrome, ferrochrome, tungsten, those sort of high-end materials, which for corrosion and heat resistant. What is our sales volume in FY24? I had already covered that. There's been a decrease in debtors and inventory days in the last 3 years compared to historical average. I think you should be happy with that. But anyway, what has led to the same? Again, bit of the same. We concentrate on. I mean, these are the KPIs that we give people to ensure that they pay more attention to these items. Many times this is forgotten. As long as the production is gone, dispatches are gone, no one looks at these figures. But yes, we do that, and we pay a lot of attention to that. Again, decrease in debtors, just better follow-up and better discipline. That's all. Do we have manufacturing activities in Thana plant? The answer is no. Again, I think I've answered that. Why the EBITDA has gone up to 27%. Someone says it's unbelievable. Well, it is very good indeed, but to sustain that, I doubt it would be closer to about 22%. But to sustain 27% may be a bit tight, I would say, given the fact that so many changes are taking place in industry today. So sustainable margins will come down perhaps to 20% or a little more than that. So with that, gentlemen, I think I've tried to answer as many of the questions, but there are a few which I've left to my director, Mr. Ban, to cater to. That's mainly on research and some of the more technical questions. So over to you, Kuldeep.
Thank you, Captain. Well, I think one or two questions of the topics which as a whole were concerning about the demand in oil and gas sector. I think this is pretty sustainable sector for another few years. There's a lot of macroeconomic indicators which suggest that petrochemical industry is going to thrive for some more years. And so that will directly lead the demand for us. And there will be also an indirect demand for us, which is from a geographic expansion as we are moving into Middle East, into North American markets, which are large potential petrochemical sectors. So we believe that this demand of reformer tubes is quite sustainable for another at least a decade, and that should see us through with our expected plans. Another aspect, questions on engineering research development was there. So obviously we have invested quite heavily into engineering research development. There's quite a bit of a collaboration which is happening within the companies that are in the metallurgy group, cross helping each other. But ARD has particularly worked quite significantly in building the alloys, future alloys. One of those is called as a R-alloy, micro-alloy, and that's something which will have a significant potential in a petrochemical sector. So generally, strategically, I think we're well placed for the market, both from taking on the demand that exists in the petrochemical and steel sector, and the growth opportunities that exist in European, North American, and Middle East markets. I think that's broadly what we wanted to tell you about strategy, engineering research development, etc. If there's anything that you specifically want to know more, we're more than happy to address. But I think that broadly covers what we wanted to tell you.
Okay, I think a mention on the ERD, if you can, cover that.
Yeah. As I did mention, there's a significant amount of work that has gone into engineering research development, and that work is showing quite significant results for Abex, particularly in its reformer sector, and that will also hugely help us in our expansion plan. Is the plan that we already announced that we are going to put up a new expansion plan, which is predominantly addressed towards the reformer sector. And the reformer sector is what has linked us to the engineering research development that we have done in terms of the alloys and the markets of the reformers and steel that we have taken up. So it's all kind of merged together in terms of research and ERD that we set up a couple of years back, which led to which helped us gain new markets, new sectors, and therefore the plant expansion. So that's how it is strategically placed.
Thank you, Kuldeep. I did forget one point. I think my son just reminded me. That's on the Thana land. Look, now for the past 5 years, we have been receiving a lot of inquiries, and all of them start taking their own sweet time. Then they come with some rubbish offer, and this has been going on and on and on. I can only tell you one thing: if we're very serious with SEBI will be the first to know, and if we get the right price, we get the right terms, maybe we'll look at it. But I'm not going out of my way to appoint people to sell my property. This is not what I'm doing. But what's happening is the other way around. People are coming to me saying, I want you, I'm interested in your land, etc., etc., etc. But everywhere there is some hitch on their side, or maybe sometimes the hitch is on our side because the land is not entirely clear of everything. There's some reservations, this, that. So it's a complex thing which I'm trying to find a party. If he comes to me with the right price and here's your check and we do a quick deal, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm not actively looking out, but people are coming to us. Let's put it that way. I hope I've answered that question. If there's any other question that you all would like to ask or have not covered, I'd be happy to do so. Huh? Yeah, you can get in touch with the company secretary. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. So I'm thankful to all.